I'm Filipe Macedo, originally from Lisbon, Portugal, and I lead product at Talent Protocol. The interesting backstory is that I studied computer engineering, like probably most people in crypto, but I actually ended up going in a different direction. I actually started DJing, and when I quit my job and burned my suit, like I say, and then started DJing and getting some recognition for it. Nike at the time sponsoring non-athletes as well, so these are musicians, actors, and DJs. One year, one of the campaigns they were doing for the World Cup, for the main star of the country, in this case Ronaldo from Portugal, to be side by side with real people from their country and non-athletes instead of using normal models. They picked 10 people from Portugal to shoot with Cristiano in Madrid, and then I ended up making the final cut of 3 that actually got their face all around the world in all Nike stores, and that was my very short modeling career. My case was interesting, how I got into crypto, because it was the solution for the problem I needed a solution for. What I planned to do was sell shares in my sabbatical as a way to help fund it, but also mean that they had a stake in it. But then my co-founder had this idea of actually investing in talent. And the core idea for the Talent Protocol was the ability to invest in people that you believe in. And then at the time we saw that crypto was making it possible for people to invest in people they believe in. One way to explain Talent Protocol is almost like an economic engine for reputation, making sure that talented people get the recognition that they deserve, and that they don't need to be selling themselves, they don't need to be great at writing a resume, they don't need to be great at posting on LinkedIn or talking good about themselves to be found. So your work should speak for itself, and that's what we try to do. One of the hardest things was actually having success too early. We started building in a bull market that our idea was simple enough to get people excited, everything is going super well, and then realizing that most of this is not actually true, and then restarting after that was tough. But luckily, starting in the bull market allowed us to fundraise with good conditions and having a treasury that made us last until now. We've been building on Base since the very first days, and I think since day one that we felt support from the team, but mostly it's about being aligned in terms of values. It's been a match made in heaven so far. There are a bunch of things that are important for us. I would say that since the beginning that transparency is one of those. This idea of building in public since day one and being very open about what you're doing is also the kind of builders that I think will not only win in the future, but also the ones that are benefiting the most from our product and protocol. So we look at hundreds of different data points, but I would say the main categories are GitHub, of course, but also a lot of the credentials that you might have. So hackathons that you participated in, hackathons that you won, accelerators that you were a part of. So basically we calculate the score based on all of these data points that make it easier for people just to find out quickly who the talented builders are. My advice to new builders is to first start today and then to build in public. The shorter the cycles, the more feedback you'll get, the faster you'll be able to progress. In 5 years, I think it's a likely scenario that we have 10 times more builders than we have today. With the help of AI, Talent Protocol will be very helpful for all these builders to find the opportunity that they need to find. Hi, I'm Filipe, one of the founders of Talent Protocol, and I'm building on Base.